hot yoga tips and tricks for Bikram and Barkan Yogis. Do you want to get better? Watch this video. Now, I was showing 3 fingers on the thumbnail because I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can mentally approach your practice, which is going to change and definitely enhance your physical result.
It's great. Now I'm excited.
So first things first, probably you're pushing too hard, or on the other side of that coin, you're not pushing enough. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you fall into that first category. But here's a Barkan saying, I say it all the time. One of the biggest mistakes that beginner students make is they go too far too soon. When you go too far too soon, your body can't sustain that intensity for that longer period of time, and you have to come out of it. Now, maybe you're doing that on purpose to give you an excuse for coming out of the pose.
It's not funny.
Whatever reason it is, you have to be smarter in how you approach the practice. And I want you to think about it in this way: a beginning, middle, and end to each pose. One of Bikram's favorite sayings is you can't start a Toyota car with a Cadillac key. So I'm going to give you the key to your car and also teach you how to drive it. Bikram would also say, my mind, your body. I'm going to do the same thing. Have you think in a different way. I'm going to guide you mentally into the physical approach to the practice. Before we continue on, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell. Any questions or comments, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you. Now, half moon is a perfect example, our version of half moon, that is. Other styles of yoga call this pose half moon. We call this pose half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. Now, in the Bikram world, they hold the first set for a long period of time. In the Barkan world, we only do one set, but we hold it for a long period of time. That's why this is a great example. If you go too far too soon, your body's going to tighten up to protect itself. You go deep into the practice in the first 5 seconds of the pose, it's too much for the body to handle. So as a defense mechanism, it tightens up. As soon as it tightens up, you're stuck. If you're tenacious and you want to hold through that tension, you're just working against yourself. So instead, we're going to do it this way. So let me show you a great mental approach to the half moon to the side. Arms overhead, interlace the fingers. You're going to go tick-tock left and right, back and forth, lifting up, by the way, as you go over to the side, not just side to side. Up and over. Take a deep breath in, and over to the side you go. So you're starting out in a preliminary consciousness. Don't go that far. Just go a little bit. See what's going on with your body in that particular moment, that particular day, especially in the first set. Your hips are going out. You can think about the alignment process. The arms are reaching right. Chest is opening out, arms are coming back, keeping the leg muscles engaged. But now you're slowly going to start to turn on a little more intensity. We get maybe 15, 20 seconds into the pose. Now you can go a little deeper. You can feel your body opening. You've given yourself, especially with the heat, in combination with the proper alignment concept, you're able to go further within the pose. You're breathing more, pushing down into that heel. Now we get to the end of the pose, and now your body's ready and it's warmed up to go. Now you can get to your full position. Reaching over, exhale, use the breath a little bit more. Now you're full peaked at the very end and come up. So you have to learn how to gauge your energy. Less in the beginning, more at the end. That's the mantra I want you to change now. Drum roll again, Rochelle. Less in the beginning, more at the end, and slowly your intensity changes. As we get to the final position, you're peaking out. Instead of going so far in the beginning, you can't maintain it that much. You're probably gonna have to come out of it early. You're wondering why I can't hold the posture that long. It's because it's the mental approach. So instead of going too far too soon, less in the beginning, and at the end, you're peaking. Point number 2, maybe you heard the saying before in a yoga room, honor your level. That doesn't mean take it easy. It doesn't mean go honor your level, so don't go that far. No, it really means, I like to really change that saying to understand your level. Let's use standing head to knee, one of the postures that I feature on my yoga channel, maybe more than most. We start out at the preliminary position. If you're a beginner, you're not thinking about the full position. If you're thinking about going to that full position, just the thought of it, your body's gonna tighten up. Just the thought of it's gonna create tension in your body and your mind. We have our starting position. As a beginner, the focus and the primary thought should be straightening that standing leg and keeping that quadricep muscle engaged, making sure the weight's forward to protect the knee. And then you're kicking that leg out just enough for you to maintain the balance. I see, again, a lot of they kick their leg out so far and then their body can't sustain it and they have to come out of it early. Take your time. Gauge that energy. Honor your level. When I used to run, I was running when I lived in New York City, and then I moved to Los Angeles. I was running then too. I did my first 10K run. I think it was 10K, 5K, I don't remember. And I ran maybe 8-minute miles, which isn't really that fast, maybe even 9-minute miles. I saw at the starting line they had a 5-minute mile starting pace, a 6-minute mile starting pace, a 7-minute mile starting pace, and I saw the 8-9-minute mile starting pace was way back, almost like a half a mile away from the starting line. So I said to myself, why should I go all the way back a mile and a half to the starting line where I can start right in the front? I won't have to run that far. What a difference it's going to make. So, big mistake. The gun goes off and we start running, and I start my own pace, and all of a sudden people are passing me left and right. Boom, boom, boom. The 5-minute mile people are leaving me in their dust, kicking up their heels. I start running faster, start trying to keep up, which I couldn't even come close to keeping up with them. And guess what happened? I petered out and done. It's the exact same thing in yoga class. You have to understand your level and work within that parameter. I'm not saying work less, but work within the parameter of your level. Beginning, intermediate, advanced. So let me guide you through standing head to knee.
Thank you so much.
At the beginning level, you pick up your foot, making sure, and this is your primary thought, is keeping the standing leg straight, zipping up that quadricep muscle. I like the knee a little bit above waist level, and slowly you begin to extend that leg out. So let's say you can't kick that leg out more than 5-6 inches, or what is that, 10 or 12 centimeters. Then that's your starting point. I've said this also many times on my channel. Find your starting point without judgment. Don't judge it. This is what it is. This is what's happening. Don't try to go to that full position. Don't try to go and straighten your leg out if you're not even close. Don't go up to the 5-minute mile runner, because he's going to pass you like crazy. Got to go to where you are. Now, your main goal is keep the standing leg straight. We're slowly extending the upper leg out. Gauge your energy like the first point on your level, beginning mode for beginning standing head to knee. Now we move to the intermediate level. Your standing leg's a given, and your upper leg isn't quite straight yet. Maybe it's getting there real close, or maybe some days it's straight, some days it isn't. Now you have a different primary thought. Now your standing leg is a given, so it's keeping that standing leg straight and solid is, you already can do that. That's going to be your foundation. Every now and then you may want to check in, but that's going to be your foundation. Now your primary thought changes at the intermediate level. Your primary thought now, shoulders down, arms extended. I looked into a yoga class actually today. I'm looking in, there was a Bikram class. I just taught the Barkan class, and I looked in and I saw a person holding their foot and their shoulders are up like this. When your shoulders are up like this is a side note, and your elbows or your elbows are bent, look what's happening. You're restricting the range of motion of that leg. So what we've got to do is shoulders down and arms extended. By chopping the shoulders and extending the arms, you're going to have the full range of motion for the upper leg to go out as far as it possibly can. Now your primary thought changes. You're not at the beginning level anymore. Now we got to make sure that upper leg is straight, because when we get to the advanced level, which we're going to get to in a second, keeping that upper leg straight is absolutely essential. So if it's not quite there yet, you don't want to rush it. You don't want to be building the 4th floor of the house and the 2nd and 1st floor are collapsing underneath you. So we have to, at the intermediate level, understand we've got to get that upper leg straight. That's got to be the priority. And how are we going to get there? What's the primary thought? Did you forget it already? Shoulders down, arms extended, to get that leg out to its full potential, the full potential for that day. Now at the advanced level, your standing leg is straight, and that's a given. Your upper leg is straight, shoulders down, arms extended. In fact, you may want to hold, if you're advanced in this position and you can do a full pose, you may want to just keep your arms extended, shoulders down for at least the first half of the first set. Maybe the whole set if you're feeling that hamstring is tight. But once that upper leg is straight, now your primary thought changes at the advanced level. It's not shoulders down, arms extended, because that leg's already straight out. What you want to think about now is keeping the upper quad muscle engaged. And why is that? So as I witness traveling the world teaching this pose, when people are at the level where they're ready to start dropping their elbows down, almost every time, especially if they're just at this level, the upper leg starts to bend. And as soon as the upper leg starts to bend, you're out of the pose. So how do we ensure that the upper leg doesn't bend? By keeping the upper quad muscle engaged. So all your thoughts are now around that thought of keeping the upper quad muscle engaged. The leg is straight, engage that upper quad. Now, relax the shoulders, relax the elbows, relax the wrists. Let them drop down in place. In fact, another side note, you can press into your calf muscles with your elbows. That's going to give you something else, another thing to hold on with. So you're holding that position, keeping the upper quad engaged, chin to the chest, advanced consciousness for standing head to knee. Now for the ultra advanced level of standing head to knee, now you want to hold it for a long period of time. How can you do that? In the old days, when I taught, we didn't do it with Bikram, we did it in my school in Fort Lauderdale when I started with, I call them my ninjas in the late 1980s. We all wore black on the Friday advanced class. We all had black towels, and we would hold standing head to knee on each side for 2 minutes. And I don't recommend it because it's too long, but how can you do it for 2 minutes? Or how can you do it for the full 60 seconds? Here's the trick. Once you get down to the pose, you're curling into the position, your shoulders are dropped, standing leg is straight, obviously, upper leg is straight, you're curling it nicely, you can press into the calf muscles. Now, here's the trick. You have to relax the breath. Because if you're gonna hold your breath, you can only hold the posture for as long as you can hold your breath, and you're gonna have to come out of it sooner. But relaxing the breath, you can stay there for a long period of time. Now we have to understand what we have to strengthen and what we have to relax. So they call, in the dance world, they call it isolation. What part of the body is tight and strong? What part of the body is relaxed? So you don't want to tighten your entire body. There's areas you have to relax. That's the flexibility strength combination. Dancers and gymnasts can do that automatically because they've been trained to it. And advanced yoga students as well, and teachers. So it's understanding what area has to strengthen, and you're only strengthening that area, you're isolating it. What area do you have to relax? And that's the thought process for the ultra advanced for standing head to knee. And tip number 3, drum roll, Rochelle. Be consistent. Now again, if you're watching this video, then you're definitely, especially if you're watching this far in the video, you're definitely committed to improving in your practice. If you want to improve in your practice, you've got to come all the time. Every day, not 7 days a week. If you're not a new subscriber, you've heard me say it many times on my channel. I'm not a proponent of doing yoga 7 days a week. Give yourself 1 day off. 4 should be minimum. And again, if you're watching this video and you're committed to improving, 5 should be your minimum. 5 is great. 6 is ideal. Don't like 7. You want to do 7 classes or 8 classes in a week? Do a double one day. If you do a class in the morning and then in the afternoon, that afternoon class, you'll be wide open, really quick. You'll be able to go further sooner, which ties into that first tip because your body's more open. That's another side note too. If you do your practice in the morning, you're definitely going to be stiffer than if you did your practice in the evening or the afternoon. I was always a morning yogi. I always did my practice in the morning. I remember Bikram's wife, Rajashri, she always did her practice at night, like 8 o'clock at night. It really depends on your schedule and also what you prefer. But if you're doing a morning class, especially an early morning class, you're going to be stronger than you are flexible. So understand that in your mind. And if you're doing an evening class, you're most likely, because you've been moving around all day, you're going to be more flexible than you are strong. Just a side note. So let's sum it up. Tip number 1, less in the beginning, more at the end. Tip number 2, honor, or more importantly, I think a better word, understand your level. What level are you at? That doesn't mean take it easy. This is what you have. This is, we're gonna, and I've said this too on my channel many times. So we'll find our starting point with our judgment. We find the next couple centimeters. We find the next inch. And tip number 3, consistency. You gotta come more often. 5 times a week if you're really serious about getting better. 5 times a week minimum. 6 is ideal. Don't like 7. So as promised, here are some updates on where I'm gonna be in the next few months. January 17th, I'm gonna be up in Delray, Florida at Hatha Yoga. I believe it's from 12 to 2 in a 3-hour Barkan Method hot yoga workshop. January 23rd to the 25th, I'm going to be at Blissful Spirits in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been there in a few years. I used to go there all the time. It's going to be great to come back to Albuquerque. In February, I have 2 Barkan level 2 and 3 teacher training programs. February 4th to the 10th is in Steamtown, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And then I'm going to be in Selfoss, Iceland, which is a little bit east of Reykjavik, about 45 minutes east of Reykjavik. In the 3rd week of February, I'm not sure exactly where it is. I will put the dates up on the screen. Also in March, I'm going to be doing a workshop in Atlanta at Evolution Yoga, and also going to Indiana to do a workshop. I put links down below. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Any questions or comments, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye, everyone.